fresh back in the hotel room from Talladega where Austin Cindric wins. We've got some DQs to talk about and the race itself, and shout out for getting credentialed to all the people that helped me do that. So let's get into it. Coming up next. What's going on, everybody? Hope you're doing good today. Obviously on the road for this one, was at Talladega, was fortunate enough to get credentials, so shout out to everyone that helped me get that hooked up. Much appreciated. And my first experience with Talladega, and if you've never been, let me just go ahead and tell you, it is a complete vibe. This is one of the races that you definitely need to have on your bucket list. It was on my bucket list. But with that being said, maybe we'll make a video on that later, but this is about the race itself. So Austin Cindric gets the win. It is his third win all time, and that ties him on the list at 105 with 9 other drivers, including AJ Allmendinger, Eric Almirola, Bill Blair, Robbie Gordon, Eric Jones, Dick Linder, Frank Moody, Elliott Sadler, Gwen Staley, and Brian Vickers. Brian Vickers just recently decided he was going to come out of hiding and be on social media, so interesting that he ties him on that list. But it was also a good chunk of time between wins, 30 races to be in fact, so 6 more races and it would have been a full, basically, calendar season. But he does get the win. This is the second time in a row he has now locked himself into the playoffs, basically back to back. And of course, in 2022, he won the Daytona 500, 2023, the off year where he did not make the playoffs. So there you have it. In 3 of 4 years here, he has made the playoffs, and he is now, you're going to have to start taking him more seriously because he is now more consistently getting into these playoffs. It is going to be sort of a surprise winner points-wise and things like that, which we will get into here in just a minute. But now it's becoming a consistent thing where Austin Cindric gets into the playoffs, and not for nothing, but it was a good week to be named Austin because Austin Dillon got a top 10, and of course Austin Hill won in the Xfinity Series race. Speaking of the top 10, let's get into that before we get to the DQs here. Austin Cindric, of course, getting your win. Kyle Larson, because of one of the DQs, which we're going to talk about here in just a minute, gets the second place position. William Byron is third, Noah Gragson fourth, Chase Elliott in fifth place. Then good run for Carson Hocevar, outrunning his teammates once again in the 77. Alex Bowman in 7th place. Bubba Wallace, good run for him, 8th place finish. And Daniel Suarez in 9th. Austin Dillon gets a top 10 because of both of those DQs as well. And then the rest of your top 15 is going to be Michael McDowell, Ricky Stenhouse Jr., Cole Custer, Tyler Reddick, and one Chase Briscoe. So, of course, that was not the actual finishing order because Ryan Preece finished in second, and I think Joey Logano was in third place or somewhere around there. Either way, those 2 drivers got disqualified. Now, Joey Logano's situation, he was missing a bolt on the spoiler, and Penske has already come out and said that they are not going to challenge that. Ryan Preece had too many shims in his spoiler, so both of these were spoiler-related incidents for the DQ. Not sure if RFK at this point in time is going to appeal this and challenge it or not, but we know for sure Penske is not. So going to be a huge hit to both of them because, that's going to put them at last and second to last as far as that goes, with some other drivers who were involved in incidents, but that was a huge deal. And of course, it bumps those other drivers up, but a huge deal. A great day for Joey Logano, turns poor, and the same thing for Ryan Preece. Ryan Preece cannot catch a break on these restrictor plate tracks. If he's not going upside down, he's getting disqualified. So he's probably, when he sees these tracks on the schedule, just doesn't want to see them anymore. There you are, the rest of your bad race. Ryan Blaney, of course, caught up in that wreck with Brad Keselowski and Kyle Busch. And then Christopher Bell and Chris Buescher caught up in the Christopher Bell and Denny Hamlin situation, so bad race for them as well. But the poor finishes and the DQs weren't the only thing that were a bad race here, because for a lot of this race, these drivers were riding around saving fuel once again, and there are a few different things that we can do probably to fix this. The first thing would be, you can still have the stage points, you can still award the stage points, but maybe take away the caution for the stage. That way the fuel strategy would be completely different, because the way they've got it set up now, everybody's on the same fuel strategy and they're trying to get that one pit stop in, and it's just making it a nightmare because they're just riding around saving fuel and it's not creating great racing. The other aspect of this, and Mark Martin tweeted out something to the effect of, as long as they're saving fuel, they're not wrecking, but as soon as they start racing each other, they start wrecking. It is a decent criticism that Mark Martin brings up, that these cars don't necessarily race really really well at this track too. These sentiments were echoed by Joey Logano, who said you just couldn't do anything without a lot of help from behind. And William Byron said you did everything you could do in his post-race interview, but you needed not the guy, only the guy behind you, but the guy behind him. So you basically needed the third car in line to actually make something happen. So so not the man sitting shotgun, it's the man sitting third in line that actually has to get the momentum going and make the push to make something happen. So from that aspect, these cars are just not racing as well as these drivers would like them to race at restrictor plate tracks, and couple that with the fuel saving where they're just riding around, it has made it a frustrating experience for some fans. Now, sitting there watching it live at the track, I didn't have that same experience as the people watching it, I guess, on TV, or maybe I was just excited because it was my first Talladega race, but I didn't necessarily experience that from the stands. I thought it was a great experience overall, but I did see a lot of chatter online where people were upset about the fuel saving and the inability of these cars to get going when they actually started racing. So yeah, there you go. And we mentioned points, so here are your points after Talladega, which of course is a race that can usually shake things up, but not that many huge wrecks in this one, so it didn't really shake it up like we are accustomed to. Kind of a clean race here, but William Byron continues to lead. He's got 389, 358. The next closest man is Kyle Larson. Then you got Denny Hamlin, Chase Elliott, Christopher Bell, Tyler Reddick, Bubba Wallace, and Ryan Blaney in 8th place. 9 through 16 is going to be Alex Bowman, Ross Chastain, Joey Logano, Chase Briscoe, Chris Buescher, Austin Cindric, and AJ Allmendinger. Kyle Busch would be your last man in if it wasn't for Josh Berry here in 21st position below him, who would actually bump him out. So Kyle Busch would actually be the first man on the outside looking in, followed by Ricky Stenhouse Jr., Ryan Preece, and Michael McDowell. Carson Hocevar in 20th. All right, that's going to do it for me from the hotel room. Hopefully we'll be back in the studio tomorrow. So yeah, a great experience. If you ever get a chance to come down to Talladega, definitely check it out. If you can, definitely get the pit experience and go down there, check out Big Bill's Cafe or Garage or whatever it's called. That was a really cool deal to experience. Check out the Talladega International Motorsports Hall of Fame. That was a huge thing to experience as well. And like I said, I might make a video completely dedicated to Talladega, the experience itself, but did want to mention those two things before I jumped off on this video. All right, that's all I got for you on this one. Until the next one, thanks for your time. Peace.